Mark, with another long trip ahead on Saturday, how have you and the staff gone about making sure the players will be ready physically and mentally to face Portsmouth?
Well, it's a challenge this week, and it's been a challenge for everybody because the journeys are tough. The road closures don't make any or don't help. Supporters have made that travel in distance as well, and obviously they got to work as well on the back of it, which is incredible. So. This is part of the calendar, and this is why we talk about the championship being really tough, because the level of the game is high all the time, the intensity, the frequency of the games, but also the challenge with the logistics are there as well. So we have to try and meet it head on. So you've got there's always issues to try and navigate, and we will do that this time, but we're looking forward to it. I mean, obviously there's a week between the next two games, so we'll get a little bit of a breather after that. But to all intents and purposes, we're all focused on the game and getting a better performance than we did on Tuesday at the Den against a really good Portsmouth team that are high intensity and really well supported. So that you know what it's like. The atmosphere at Fratton Park is always boisterous and partisan, and tomorrow will be no different. I think obviously with the 12:30 kick-off as well thrown into it, we want to finish the prep and then make our way down to the south coast and prepare for an early kick-off.
At a time when the squad can become stretched with the short period between games and maybe a few bumps and bruises, how important is it that the squad's versatile?
Yeah, it's really important, and obviously you don't want injuries and suspensions at any time, and this is the reason why. So, we've got a suspension now, as everybody knows, with Junior. That doesn't help. Eric Bocat obviously came off the other night, so again we have to check on him and his availability amongst the other players that are definitely out. And then at this time of year, obviously you've got the added illnesses that are flying around, and you've got to contend with those when they crop up. So, the importance, and you're talking about how you try and make sure everybody's ready. We've got a nutritionist. We've got to make sure that the players have got the right supplements to take, along with the food, taking them at the right times and eating at the right times, and all of those things that come with it. Vitamin C really important, vitamin D really important, because the sunshine starts to diminish over time, and there are a lot of things that we do to try and minimise any risk, really. So whilst it isn't perfect, it goes some way to certainly helping.
Aaron Creswell made his 600th career appearance on Tuesday night. How big an achievement is that, and what's he like amongst the group?
It's a brilliant achievement. It's 600 not out, by the way, so he's still got a lot of football left to play. Amongst the group, he's really well respected. Obviously, he's played a lot of games at top level, and he understands requirements of being successful, and what you need to do and what it looks like, and all of those things are important to have around, because that needs to be fed to the other players, and they need to sort of listen, and whilst you're talking about things and they listen and learn about that, then that is vitally important as well, and he adds that to it. But he's really good fella as well, good to have around, knows the game, and knows what a good dressing room looks like.
Robert Bojanic's got more minutes in the last couple of games. What have you made of the way he's trying to adapt to the English game?
I think he's trying to work really hard. I think it has been for him, I think, quite difficult, but I think that there are some really good signs, and he has some good moments in games. Certainly when the ball gets played up to him, he's strong, he's physically capable of doing that. We want to make sure that he gets in the box and he looks a goal threat, because he can be. But that's the challenge, that's the challenge with the players, making sure they get up to speed. It's the same with Lamine. Lamine's made 2 starts and he's come off at half time in both games. That is difficult for him. But he's, it will make him resilient. He is resilient anyway, but it'll make him more resilient, and he'll get to start to get to know and understand what the needs are of the team, but also of the league in general.
As a former striker yourself, is the work with the forwards something that you take a invested interested in, and also look to impart your own sort of knowledge?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of work goes on, both on the pitch and off the pitch. And depending on people's learning style, they can learn from different range of things. So experiencing it, seeing it, and listening to, was talk to them about. If you can get a mixture of all the three, then you shouldn't miss anybody. I think Lamine, learns through experience better. I think it's difficult as well because you remember his first language is French, and it will take a lot of effort, energy and concentration to take all the information in verbally and visually, but I think really for him it's something that he does really well on the grass. So from our perspective, he's just getting to know those players and how they learn and how they can adapt, and how quickly that happens is different for each individual.
It's Portsmouth at Fratton Park on Saturday. Are some venues tougher to go to than others, or is too much made of that?
I think the away games are away games. I think that we just mentioned the challenges, logistic challenges, and on the back of a game on Tuesday, getting back late and travelling, but it can't be an excuse. That's what we're paid to do. So we've got to go down there and go and perform like we know we can do. I think we dipped below the levels we've set this season in a number of areas, not all areas, but the fundamentals of what we expect, and the non-negotiables that were compromised the other day, and that can't happen very often, and we don't want or see that at all if possible. But this is sport. We're human beings, and we're going to make some mistakes along the way. But like I said to you, we are vastly improved on last season, and we'll continue to improve over time. But sport is never linear. It's never in a straight line. You always have ups and downs, and Tuesday night was one of those. We've got to try and make it a better result for everybody on the back of, as we've spoken about, 2 long journeys tomorrow.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it's another long trip tomorrow, but also for the supporters as well as the team. Is that something you'll talk to the team about before the game? We
always mention that because it's our job. We go and do that. That's what we're paid to do. They pay the hard-earned money to come and support the club, and that is something that is never lost on us. So 100%, we talk about that constantly, and it's something that's there all the time. We never take it for granted, and it's something that we really appreciate, and is vital to our progression. So we definitely thank them, because we know the commitment that and their investment in the time investment, as well as the financial that they put in.